This is the top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis for April 11, 2019. I'm your technical analyst, JC De Guzman. I'll begin with Ayala Land Incorporated. Ali closed on Thursday at 46.70. Support is at 45.2. Resistance is at 47.5. Do take note that 47.5 is it's a relatively old historical resistance predicated to the historical resistance registered last January 2018. Okay, so nonetheless, this last candlestick is positioned above the 10-day simple moving average, and I am seeing a perfect bullish alignment for these three simple moving averages. This green candlestick also closed above its VWAP of 46.38. That stands for volume weighted average price. So one criteria is already present. Two criteria are actually present, and volume is also registered above its 10-day volume average. Later on, we will find out if the fourth criterion is also present by checking the price and volume distribution charts. But for now, I'd like to make some comments that foreign investors bought about 386 million pesos worth of shares on Thursday. MACD remains busy moving bullishly above the signal line, and historical volatility is at 20%. It means a low risk level for Ayala Land. Now, as soon as the price hits or draws closer to 47.5, I think we will be seeing the classical overbought signal coming from the RSI. Therefore, as early as now, I'm giving you a heads up that a profit taking might be entertained in a significant level once the price hits 47.50. So for those of you who are trading, I said trading, not investing. For those of you who are trading Ali, you may want to consider selling some tranches, selling a few shares once the price hits 47.5. Not literally 47.5, or just a little bit closer to 47.5. Or you also have the option to just strictly follow your trailing stop loss, wherever it is. Okay? So that's my analysis for Ayala Land. Now, before I drop my overall sentiment, let's take a look at the price and volume distribution for Ali. So Ali, this is the price and volume distribution charts for Ali. On the volume distribution, it looks like volume was evenly distributed, but on the trade distribution chart, it's a lot easier to know if the most traded range is registered closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. So the price that you see on top represents the price at the topmost part is the intraday high. The price at the lowest part is the intraday low. So 45.5 is the intraday low on Thursday. 46.95 was the intraday high on Thursday. So again, it's a lot easier to see on the trade distribution chart that the most traded range is registered closer to the intraday high. So that's check, present. The fourth criterion is also present. So all four criteria are present for Ayala Land. Now, for the new subscribers here, Sir JC, what criteria are you talking about? What are these criteria? Criteria for what? So these are the four criteria that should be present before you decide to top up or to enter a new position on any stock. So for Ayala Land, those four criteria are present. So should you decide to top up or to enter a new position, that decision is backed by data. Okay? So my overall sentiment is bullish on Ayala Land, and I advise that you consider locking in some profits near 47.5. So that's my overall sentiment and recommendation for Ayala Land. Now let's talk about BPI. BPI closed on Thursday at 83 pesos per share. Support is at 83.3. Resistance rather, it's 83.3. Support is at 79.6. BPI managed to inch a little bit higher than its 10-day simple moving average, but I'm still seeing a perfect bearish, I said bearish, alignment for these three simple moving averages. BPI has to break out above 93 pesos per share for us to possibly see a reversal of this perfect bearish alignment into a perfect bullish one. So meaning to say BPI has to break out above at least 3 resistance levels just to reverse this perfect bearish position of the alignment of its simple moving averages. But let's take one resistance at a time. Okay, let's talk about the present price movement first. So this green candlestick managed to close above its did it close above its VWAP? Okay, closing price was 83 pesos, VWAP was 83.02, so it's 2 centavos below its VWAP. Okay. So now volume is still above the 10-day volume average. So it seems that one of our 4 criteria is not present. It did not manage to close above its VWAP. It's 2 centavos shy from closing almost equal to its VWAP. So green candlestick is present. That's 1 point. Volume is above the 10-day volume average. That's 1 point. Unfortunately, it did not close above its VWAP. So we have 2 out of 3. We have 2 points out of 3. And let's find out if later on. Let's find out if the price and volume distribution shows us that the most traded range and most voluminous range is registered closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. But for now, I'd like to make some feedback regarding MACD. MACD shows us a formation, just a formation, not a confirmation. It's a formation of a bullish convergence with a signal line. I repeat, it's just a formation, not a confirmed bearish divergence yet. RSI, okay. Historical volatility is at 26%. It's a low risk level. So let's take a look at the price and volume distribution for BPI. BPI intraday high was at 83.7, intraday low was at 83.35. So in both charts, it's obvious that the most traded and most voluminous range is parked closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. So we out of four criteria, 3 of them are present. Okay, 3 of them are present. So my suggestion is this one. My overall sentiment is neutral to bullish. Okay, however, I would suggest that you consider locking in some profits near 83.3. Okay, my reservation is brought about by the absence of one of the 4 criteria that we are monitoring, the VWAP relative to the position of the last price. Okay, so don't enter a new position just yet. Once you see a breakout, that's the time that you need to reevaluate if those 4 criteria are present again. If they are, then that's the time that you should enter a new position. If and only if those 4 criteria are present. Not 3, not 2, not 1, but all 4. Okay? So neutral to bullish. My recommendation is to lock in some profits near 83.3. If it registers another green candlestick above 83.3, you have to reevaluate. Check if all 4 criteria are present. If they are, then you can use the sold amount to enter a new position, and hopefully you will make some money again. Okay, for the second time trading BPI. Let me reiterate that in this top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis, we're talking about short-term trading. This is not about long-term investing. So my time horizon and risk tolerance considered in this analysis is based on the perspective of a short-term trader. Okay? I know this is an index stock, but we're talking about short-term trading here, not long-term investing. If you are into long-term investing, take a look at the long-term investing tab on your dashboard here. Okay? So now let's move on. Cebu Pacific. SEB closed on Thursday at 87 pesos per share. Support is at 80.80. Resistance is at 87.93. Okay. The last price of 87 is above its VWAP of 86.93. It's a towering volume as well. I'm seeing a towering volume last Thursday. It's above its 10-day volume average, and foreign investors bought about 22 million pesos worth of shares. MACD still also moving above the signal line, particularly above the zero line already. Historical volatility is at 30%. It's a low risk level for Cebu Pacific. So a breakout above 87.9 or 88 pesos per share might make, I think that will propel the 10-day simple moving average to overtake or to cross above, to register a golden cross above the 50-day SMA. And when that happens, we will be seeing a perfect bullish alignment of its three simple moving averages. It might increase the chance of breaking out, of piercing the resistance, another resistance near 91.4. But only if and when that happens. We are yet to see that. Okay? Now let's take a look at Cebu Pacific's price and volume distribution chart. So this is it. Okay. Price and volume distribution. So on the volume distribution, it's a lot easier to recognize that the most voluminous range was registered closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. Okay. Also on the trade distribution, because of this 88.0, because of this 56% trade distribution at 88.1. So there you go. I think all four criteria are present. All four criteria are present on BPI. So the decision, should you decide to top up or enter a new position, is backed by data. Make sure that you buy within the most voluminous and most traded range and not at any price. So overall sentiment remains bullish on Cebu Pacific. I suggest that you maybe lock in some profits for one tranche near 88 pesos. Okay? Near 88 pesos. Moving on to PXP. I think PXP appeared as one of the top 5 losers in the previous. Yeah, it did. Here, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, it appeared as one of the top 5 losers. Now, let me plot another support level here. So, there you go. PXP closed on Thursday at 7.92. Support is at 7.65. Resistance is at 9.84. So it seemed that it respected the support that was created last Wednesday near 7.7. Okay, near 7.7 on last Wednesday rather. So now this green candlestick came with a green volume above its 10-day volume average. VWAP last Thursday was 7.81. So PXP closed above the VWAP. So 1 point, green candlestick, 2 points, volumes above the 10-day volume average, 3 points. Later, we'll find out if the most voluminous and most traded range is also registered closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. But for now, foreign investors sold about 500,000 worth of shares on Thursday. MACD snubbed that little green candlestick last Thursday, so it continues to move below the signal line, a bearish one. Historical volatility is at 139%. It makes PXP an extremely high-risk stock. Now, let's take a look at the price and volume distribution for PXP. So apparently, the most traded and most voluminous range was registered closer to the intraday high than the intraday low, both on the volume distribution and trade distribution charts. You can see that here, right? Yeah. So what range was that? It's between 7.7 all the way to 8.05. That's the most traded and most voluminous range. Okay? So all four criteria are present, meaning to say, should you decide to enter a new position on PXP, that decision is backed by data. But make sure you are on top of your trailing stop loss should the market decide to act as a contrarian to our data-driven bullish forecast on PXP. Okay? So, basing my overall sentiment from what happened on Thursday, I am bullish on PXP. Just make sure that you are all on top of your trailing stop loss so that you are not clueless on what to do should the market decide to act as a contrarian on our bullish data-driven forecast. Okie dokie. All right. Next, we have PHEN. PHEN closed on Thursday at 1.6. Support is at 1.5. Resistance is at 1.64. VWAP was at 1.61. It closed below, one tick below its VWAP. Volume was red, and of course it's red because it's a red candlestick. It's about 75% below its 10-day volume average. MACD is still above the signal line. Of course, it has to register lots of red candlesticks for MACD to bend downwards. For it to bend downwards. So last Thursday's red candlestick, I mean to say it wasn't enough for MACD to bend below the signal line. Foreign investors, on the other hand, just bought about 700,000 pesos worth of shares. Historical volatility is at 62%, a moderate risk level for PHEN. I think 1.64 was already considered as a profit-taking level for PHEN. Yeah, 1.64, this historical resistance, 1.64. So everyone is still trying to check if someone is willing to buy a significant amount of shares above 1.64. They will do a follow the leader. They will do a follow the leader play as soon as they spot someone buying a huge amount of shares above 1.64. Now let's take a look at the price and volume distribution. So this is it. It looks like it's evenly distributed, huh? The price and volume distribution, it's evenly distributed for PHEN. So in this particular case, what I can say about this is that everyone is really in an eavesdropping mode on PHEN. Everyone is watching one another as to who will make another significant move above 1.60 or 1.64. Okay, so therefore my overall sentiment in this case is neutral, and my recommendation is that you consider locking in some profits at 1.64. You either sell all of your shares near 1.64, or just sell a few tranches, provided you still have your trailing stop loss. I don't recommend entering a new position just yet. No. Not all 4 criteria are present yet. Okay? Next, we have AGI. AGI closed on Thursday at 15.6. It closed below its VWAP of 15.82. Support is at 15.15. Resistance is at 16.42. AGI is now moving below its 10-day simple moving average. It broke its record of moving bullishly above its above the bullish alignment of its simple moving averages. Volume is also above its 10-day volume average, meaning to say there was really an appetite to sell on Thursday. MACD continues to bend downwards, registering a bearish divergence from the signal line. Historical volatility is at 41%, still a low risk level for AGI. Okay, I think 16.42 was considered as a selling area as well, because there were lots of attempts to break out above 16.40 to no avail, and those attempts have been made since the 3rd week of March this year. So it is a tough resistance to break. It requires a bigger volume than this for it to break out above 16.42. Let's take a look at the price and volume distribution for AGI. So here, The trade distribution chart makes it a lot easier for us to know that the most traded, the range that we're looking for is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. So it's a confirmation of a bearish appetite or selling appetite for AGI last Thursday. Therefore, my recommendation is bearish on AGI, and my overall sentiment is bearish. My recommendation is don't enter a new position just yet. Just monitor it. Maybe you should monitor the price closer to 15.15. As you see a dip in price, reevaluate. As soon as you see a flimsy volume, even if it's a red candlestick, maybe it's a sign of selling exhaustion already. So when that happens, be on the lookout. As soon as you see a green candlestick, reevaluate if those 4 criteria are already present. If they are present, then you have a data-driven reason to buy. Okay, make sure that you have your trailing stop loss in your mind if you have AGI at this moment. All right. Next, we have PMPC. PMPC closed on Thursday at 6.30. Resistance is near 7.09. Okay. Support is near 6.04. Okay. VWAP on Thursday was at 6.8. Closing price was at 6.3. It was a towering volume, obviously above its 10-day volume average. And the alignment of its moving averages seems groggy actually. It's the 200 SMA above the 10 SMA and 10 SMA above the 50 SMA. So for us to see a perfect bullish alignment on the 3 SMAs of PMPC, this stock must close above the resistance at 7.09. Okay. MACD is showing us a non-organic histogram or fluctuation because of the sudden ascent in price last April 4. So it destroyed the organic movement of the MACD line. So I'm not going to rely much on MACD because of this sudden fluctuation here the first week of April. And because of that, it makes historical volatility jump from 48% from below 50% to now 134%. It's an extremely high risk stock because of its inorganic fluctuation, price fluctuation to be specific. Okay, now let's take a look at the price and volume distribution. So on the volume distribution chart, it looks like it's evenly distributed, but we can say that this area here, it's closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. It shows the same for the trade distribution. But nonetheless, even though this one is checked, this criterion is present, it's registered closer to the intraday high than the intraday low, my suggestion is that the other 3 criterion are absent. So out of 4 criteria, we only got one point out of 4. Therefore, it's not a go signal to enter a new position on PMPC. Okay, so wait some more near 6 pesos per share. Reevaluate. When I say wait some more near specific price, I'm not saying wait some more and buy right away when it hits that price. No, that's what I'm not saying. That's not what I'm saying. You have to reevaluate every time the price hits another low. Reevaluate if those 4 criteria are present. If they are, then you have a data-driven reason to buy in tranches. But for now, nope. It's a bearish. My overall sentiment is bearish on PMPC. My recommendation is you wait near 6 pesos per share. Don't buy right away at 6 pesos. Reevaluate first. If the 4 criteria are not present, then you wait some more closer to the next resistance below 6 pesos, and that's near 5.7. All right. Next, we have Z. Z closed on Thursday at 0.375. VWAP was at 0.373, so it closed 2 ticks above its VWAP. Support is at 0.3715. Resistance is at 0.4076. Let's check. Is it moving? Oh, it's still not moving above its 10-day simple moving average. It still needs 10 ticks to move above its 10-day simple moving average. Volume was, let's check if it's at least, oh, it's less than 50% of its 10-day volume average. So one of the criteria is absent. Volume should be at least above 50% of its 10-day volume average. So it failed this time on Z. So one bearish point. It closed above 0.3. It closed above the VWAP, but volume is below 50% of its 10-day volume average. So we only got 2 out of 3. Let's take a look at the price and volume distribution for Z. Oh, so the range that got the most volume and the highest number of trades is registered closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. So we don't have all 4 criteria present, meaning to say it's not a go signal to enter a new position on Z. Don't buy Z just yet. There's still a high probability for the price to break down below 0.3715. Okay, so my overall sentiment remains bearish on Z. Wait near 0.34. Make sure to reevaluate when things change. Okay, next we have PRMX. PRMX closed on Thursday at 2.51. Let me plot the support level first. Okay, support is at 2.49. Resistance is at 2.75. The last price of 2.51 is below its VWAP on Thursday at 2.54. And I am seeing a perfect bearish alignment from its 3 simple moving averages. It's already moving below the 10 SMA. And volume was high above its 10-day volume average. MACD remains bearish. It has been moving bearishly below the signal line since the first week of April. Historical volatility is at 38%, a low risk level for PRMX. Let's take a look at the price and volume distribution. So here, so the most traded range is still closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. Same thing for the volume. Yeah. So there you go. We can see here that it's not the right time yet to rush into the idea of buying PRMX. Okay. My overall sentiment remains bearish. Let's wait below 2.49. Okay. Don't trade PRMX just yet. Next in the list, we have DFNN. DFNN closed on Thursday at 6.9. Let me plot the support level again and the resistance level as well. Okay, support of DFNN is near 6.66. Resistance is at 7.01 or 7 pesos per share. Again, last price it was at 6.9. It was above its VWAP on Thursday at 6.77. This green candlestick came with a strong volume above the 10-day volume average. MACD is also above the signal line, a golden cross already. Historical volatility is at 29%. Let's find out if the price and volume distribution completes the presence of the 4 criteria that we've been monitoring. Let's see. Oh, there seems to be a contradiction between the 2 charts, huh? here on the volume distribution, we see that the most voluminous range is closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. It's actually a tie because we only have three fluctuations. We only have three price points traded on Thursday, 6.5, 6.8, 6.9. We should not consider 6.8 because it's the middle. But in this case of the volume distribution, I think, in this case, as far as the volume distribution chart is concerned, the most voluminous range or price point is closer to the intraday high than the intraday low, obviously. But on the trade distribution chart, we can see that the most traded price point was registered closer to the intraday low. Not just closer, but the intraday low itself. Yeah? So the four criteria are not present. We only got 3 out of 4. Okay, on the fourth criterion, which is the price and volume distribution, we saw a tug of war between the sentiment of the two charts. So we got 3 out of 4. Therefore, it did not pass my 4 criteria test, 4-way test, for me to enter a new position on DFNN. So even though my sentiment is neutral to bullish, I don't recommend entering a new position on DFNN yet. Maybe find another stock wherein those 4 criteria are present instead of just 3 or 2 or 1. Okay? So consider locking in some profits. Because of that, consider locking in some profits near 7 pesos per share. For those of you who already have DFNN. Okay? So don't chase the stock. Don't chase DFNN from where it is and then you'll just sell at 7.01. It's not worth the reward to risk ratio. Okay? So therefore, you've heard my technical analysis, overall sentiment recommendations for these 10 stocks. If you have follow-up questions, please post them in our private clients forum. You can always post here in our private clients forum. Please read the quick start guide on your My Account tab to know how to use or how to post in our private clients forum. So again, my name is JC De Guzman. I wish you a disciplined, a profitable, and an independent trading day ahead for Friday. Thank you and have a great day.